cheers to the Tipping Points with
Ding.
Rob and B and special guests.
TT.
Oh,
Yeah, girl, you got a drink.
Wow. Why is she trying to act innocent now? Oh my God. I don't even drink like that.
What do I do?
So, today's topic is social media and dating. So, Tinder, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever they want to call it now.
Snapchat.
You know what?
No, I'm not a fan. No,
Really? Why
but
not?
no, I don't like Snapchat as a
Dating app?
no, like
She's
not even as a
smart.
what?
Save that for another episode.
Okay, we have a tangent. We got a spin-off episode of the social media and dating episode. Interesting.
Stop teaming up against me already.
What? This was your idea. You brought her in. I
She's
had
my
nothing to do with this. Yes.
friend.
Very good friend. So, how do you feel, Chaz? What do you think? Like, can social media really affect your dating life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It definitely can. I feel like with social media, well, one, I feel like with dating, it makes men
I
lazy.
can see that.
I feel like
How so?
because you have everything at your fingertips.
Ooh,
So I feel like they don't have to try as hard. It makes the bare minimum more acceptable, especially because also I think it makes it easier for manipulators to manipulate you because people are constantly posting about their relationships on social media, the nice things that they man did for them. And if you're on there scrolling and liking and whoever you're interested in, they're seeing the things that you're liking on social media. They're like, oh, this what she like? Let me do that. But not from a genuine place.
They're basically mimicking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that in itself is a whole nother episode about people who mimic behaviors.
Yeah.
And I know the term narcissist gets thrown out a lot, but that's something that they do, right?
Mhm.
And on the flip side, the people who attract toxic people or narcissists, they learn to mimic those behaviors or the things that
the ding dong
Ding, ding,
was
ding,
right
ding,
on
ding.
time. Because when you say the things that people attract, now we're talking about accountability.
the thing is, these people, they will learn what you like you were saying, they see the things that people post about, oh, well, I can mimic that and then I can get this, right? But the messed up part about it is they aren't even fulfilled themselves because they're just mimicking something that's not really them. So it's just like they continue this fucked up cycle of mimicry, but they're not truly happy, right? So they're trying to find it, but
Yeah.
they're never going to get it because they're just,
And I feel like there's no real meaning behind it. When you're mimicking, you're just doing what you see other people do. There's no real
Agreed.
emotion, no feelings behind it. And eventually that mask is going to fall off.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
by that time, if you're on the receiving end of that,
Yeah.
you're in too deep. Have you guys seen
The Tinder Swindler?
That one, no.
There was a guy who made a post about like some things that he used to do in his past where you start off with 100%
Mhm.
with a girl. You're giving her 100% of your stuff. Then you back off 10%.
Yep.
That 10% is so small, she don't even notice it.
Yep.
You back off another 5,
Mhm,
another
mhm,
5.
mhm.
So then you get to the point, now you done backed off 30%.
Yep.
And you bump it up just a little bit,
Mhm.
5%, where it's just like, I'm gonna start sending you good morning texts.
Mhm.
Now that's become enough for you. When I used to do a lot
Yeah.
more in the beginning, but
Mhm.
now just me saying good morning, beautiful is enough.
Yep.
And they continue to knock it down to where the bare minimum makes you so happy.
Yes.
Because you feel like,
It's
well,
a
at
drug.
least he's
They're like a little
trying
crackhead.
now.
Yep.
I expressed to him how it made me feel,
Mhm.
and now he's trying. So,
And a lot of times people are not aware of that happening,
Mhm.
so they fall victim to it so easily.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm one of the people from years of just kind of listening to others that can recognize these things.
Mhm.
And when my friends tell me about this stuff happening to them, I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, like
Yeah.
did you like? And this has been going on for how long? And I'm like, they keep telling me events is like just complex PTSD because they keep getting traumatized and they like, and I hate it so much because I can see it, but they can't because
Is it usually women though, like that get like
Yeah.
this treatment from guys?
Yeah.
Because I don't see it the other way around much.
I feel like it's ever so often you'll see it, and then it's usually a really good guy that it happens to, and then he becomes just another F-boy, for lack of a term, you know.
And that's the thing. It's a fucked up cycle that, and I'm pretty sure y'all have heard the phrase hurt people, right? And it just keeps going. It only takes one time sometimes, and then it's just like, okay, they do that. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna flip the script. So the next motherfucker comes along, and they're like, they're hyper guarded. They're super hyper guarded, and instead of accepting the fact that not everybody is the same, they're like, nah, I'm gonna protect myself. I'm gonna get them before they get me. Right?
That's what happened to Drake.
Yeah,
because Drake, when he first came out, he was making all this lover boy music and singing for the women's, and then slowly his stuff started changing. Now it's like FUB.
And I feel like this is actually a very complex conversation because the ways in which we, especially men, perform masculinity is what is fucking us up. Because we think we have to do all of these things in order to be a man, right? But the problem is men talk to other men about what women want. Right? Like they don't actually talk to women. So they get these fucked up ideas because that's what they think women should want. So now they got this circle jerk going on with their homeboys talking about, oh yeah, women want this. Like, no, that's what you want. Have you actually talked to women to figure this stuff out? Like, think about all the podcasts that are out there, Red Pill, these Manosphere podcasts. They're talking to other dudes about what women want, but not actually talking to women. So it's like, you're never going to get anywhere like that. If you're trying to get or communicate with a certain group, you have to talk to that group to learn how to communicate with them. But they're not doing that. They're talking to each other, and like, it's never going to get anywhere. So the whole toxic circle of hurt people hurting people is just going to continue until somebody says like, hey, this is fucked up. Maybe I should listen. A lot of times, actually most of the time, you know, men are conditioned to censor ourselves in conversation. So we're not listening to actually understand what you're saying. We're listening to respond and like, hey, I got a solution. How about you just listen? And having a solution is fine, but sometimes you just need to listen first.
I just want to tell you how I'm feeling and what's going on. I don't want you to fix it right now.
Right
now I'm venting. Right now I'm coming to my man, supposed to be my man, and explaining to him what's going on, the dating, what different things that's going on, and I just need you to listen. When I get to a point where I want a solution, then we can go at it that way. But a lot of times, like you said, men come at it solution based. Okay, she's telling me this what's going on, but I feel like that's what makes dating tricky is because he thinks he's helping. Yeah. He thinks she's telling me a problem and I'm going to be a good man for her and I'm going to fix the problem. But really the good man that she needs is the one that's just going to listen and let her say her piece and then be there to console her.
I learned this lesson the hard way myself about 10 years ago with a former friend with benefits. And up until that point, I was a very cynical person. And, you know, I felt like, yeah, just say whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. I'm just being real. I'm just being me. I'm just being honest, et cetera, et cetera. And like, I really cared about her. So she kind of hit me hard one day when she expressed how she was hurt. And I'm like, how are you hurt? I'm just being honest, right? But it took that hurting someone that I cared about for me to take a step back and be like, oh, maybe I should think about my approach, right? And after that, I started thinking more carefully about what I said, how I said it, when I said it. And she was also the one that taught me about listening instead of just immediately coming with the solution. Because there was, I don't remember the exact incident, but I'll never forget this particular incident. And I hurt her in some way emotionally. And I was upset because she was upset and I wanted to fix it. I was like, damn, why is she mad right now? You know? And then this was the first time anyone ever explained to me that they just wanted somebody to listen. So I was like, And at first I pushed back because I was like, nah, this is stupid, right? So I did decide to listen after that, and then we kind of got on better terms. But it was a hard lesson for me because I'm a very logical person, right? And I usually see through the bullshit, which is why a lot of people come to me for advice because they know that I'm just going to see through whatever. But I've learned that you can be that person, but you still need to learn how to listen as well. You can't just be like, go straight into the solution, because sometimes what I've found out over the years is that a lot of times everybody, man, woman, diverse, whatever, they just want to be heard. Like really, like marginalized people especially, they just want to be heard. Yeah. And if you open your ears and listen, you can get a lot more solved instead of just like, oh, boom, you had a problem, I got a solution.
So I think all of that again is why social media makes it hard to date, because you have the couples posting the things that they have going on. You have the different podcasts talking about relationships, and we have to lump podcasts in there with social media and stuff too.
Absolutely, of course. A lot of the it's times, a platform just like any other.
Exactly. And they're posting it on TikTok and things like that where people are commenting. So I think all of those things make dating that much more difficult because maybe back in the past you had sitcoms that you were comparing your relationship to. Now you have social media. You have real people. And a
much wider audience.
I think the problem is also really the algorithm. Because once you like in a mood or you're like in a you know, like in a situation and you're kind of seeking for the approval and you're like your point to be, you know, like approved, you click one reel and all of a sudden poof, everything is just like, yes, I got you. And that's how you know, that's how you kind of get into the loop and you get deeper and deeper and deeper. And then you find yourself in like, oh shit, like, yeah, like,
going through that too.
Yes, this is me. This is totally me. Like, yeah. So
I'm glad you brought that up because the algorithm is what fucks up a lot of people, you know. And I see people complaining all the time about how they see such toxic shit in their feed. It's because what you feed into your feed is what you feed. Yeah, right. Yeah. And it's like,
let's be real.
It's us.
And I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, I see what you're saying, but I wouldn't necessarily say that person is toxic. But if you're feeling some kind of way and like you start seeing these videos that kind of negatively enhance what you're already feeling, and then you start going into that.
Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely.
But the problem with that is there's a lot of people, especially these relationship coaches out there that take advantage of that shit because they know people are feeling like this. So they make content that's going to trigger these emotions in the people. And now you're like, ooh, damn, I'm fucked up. And then you get into this cycle of thinking how bad you are. And it's like, no, you just met some fucked up people, you know? And, you know, a lot of these relationship podcasts, they have people really feeling some kind of terrible way about themselves when it's not them. Of course, there's things that they can work on, but it's like they're kind of pushing them further down into the dirt, right? And then a lot of times, you know, the way they're talking is like, it sounds good. So then they're thinking, oh, wow, this person really sounds like they know what they're talking about. So I really must be fucked up. What is wrong with this? I think it's B. She's moving too much.
I'm just like a glare.
Not me though.
Yeah.
It's because you're too.
No, not really.
It's
Because
okay.
I'm not moving.
Me
that
neither.
much.
I'm just listening the whole time. Go ahead. Just keep talking.
Shady.
I'll watch.
Shady.
I like to watch.
Shady.
It's fine.
Oh, do you?
I do actually, but different topic. Ew,
Bird.
whatever.
Pervert. We're talking about dating? What are we talking about here?
Let's talk about dating apps quickly. So both of y'all are not on
Yes, because you're the professional. I heard. That's what I heard. I mean,
where like in the city or what?
Why
do you say it like that?
Wait a minute.
Why do you say it like that? You guys, why do you say it like that? Like, so I heard.
Wait, in the city? Wait, who
He knows because I tell him basically a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like he gets updated, not about details, obviously, but like, yes. What do you want to know?
Her name's B, and the B stands for Big Pimpin'.
It's not even that. I think it's fun at the moment. To me, it's like I cannot. I know this. I went through the whole bullshit last year with the social media. There's a different side to it when you're actually in a relationship and you kind of feel like you're out of control of what the other person is doing, and you try to kind of find a middle ground where like you're like, okay, are you displaying me as your significant other? No, you're not. Okay, but like, why are you still on other people's shit, and why are you still like kind of showcasing that like you're interested in other people? Either have me on there, like, or make it a big deal about me, or like I even like suggested that they should just get off of that particular social media, which was Instagram, and they would just not do it. Now I know why, but back then I was just like, why? Like, why?
Why would they get off of Instagram?
Not get off, but like at least either like show me as their partner in some way, or and then at the same time do not comment or do not engage or entertain other people on social media.
It sounds like if you're single and mingling, social media is fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Social media is great.
Yeah.
It's when you're in a relationship, then it starts to get tricky.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to like know what are my motives, what are my intentions, like what are my goals.
That part.
With dating and dating apps, dating through social media. If I'm just trying to have a good time, it's great.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
But I think where it gets muddy is when you meet someone and maybe things get a little more serious than anticipated. And then now it's trying to find that balance between what are we doing on social media and what are we doing in real life? Because on social media,
and
Yes.
social media
portraying
takes
something
over
totally
usually.
different.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think, it depends on, as far as how social media affects dating, it depends on what your goals are
Absolutely.
when you're entering into. Me personally, looking for something more serious, I'm not on dating sites anymore because for me, that's just not where it's at. But if I were just trying to, just have fun, meet people, have experiences, I would be there. I would.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, Chaz brings up another good point with appearances on social media, because I'm 45 and I've heard so many stories behind the scenes that are like 180 degrees different from what they post, right? I know people that have been married 10-15 years, and the things that they post on social media that everybody loves, even I love, but I've heard stories from them specifically directly about how shit ain't all that sweet. And I'm like,
so often,
Yes.
I have friends
because it's like people think social media is the place to like show off and showcase your best highlights. Like they never show the shitty
But
sides.
that's what it is.
Right?
I want to show the best part of my life, the highlights of my life. I'm not going to show you the crappy parts. I'm not going to talk about the things that make me cry or that hurt me. I just want to highlight the good stuff, because if Instagram turns out to be anything like Facebook, with these goddamn Facebook memories. Facebook, count your fucking days. Can we curse on here? Count your effing days, Facebook.
Absolutely.
Because these memories from 10 years ago, you can keep it.
This
I don't need that.
this podcast is rated 18 and up, so yeah.
So I only
you can't
want to
get
see
on.
good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be reminded of the time I was down in the dumps.
In general, like, we should feel all the feels, right? Because a lot of times we're conditioned to, like, okay, just show only the good things. Even off of social media, right?
Yeah.
We only show the positive shit. And it's like, okay, but my life is more than just that. And that's something that I've personally kind of changed within like the past 6 or 7 years, and showing more facets of me. Because like anybody who's known me over the past like 20 years knows that I'm an extreme introvert. I don't share shit. Right? But for me, social media has been my way to like give people a little bit of a glimpse into this introvert's life, because like I do a lot of shit by myself, right? So people really don't know who Rob is or what Rob does, because I just don't put it out there like that. And I'm never going to be that person that shares like a billion stories about every single detail, but I try to give people a little bit of a taste of, you know, what I'm about. That being said, like, I'm 100% honest. Like, whoever gets to know me, all my cards on the table day one. I don't play this mystery shit. Like, try to be, I don't know, the image thing. Like, I don't do that image thing on Facebook or Instagram, wherever. Like, what you see is what you get. No filters, no nothing. Like, that's just it.
But I feel like the three of us are like that.
Yeah.
We are, but in the dating world, that is rare.
This is true, and I hate that so much, is because like there's this pressure to like put on a facade, like put your best face forward. Like fuck that. You get my real face from day one. Yeah. If you don't like it, okay, that's fine. We can both move on amicably. I have no problem with that. Like, you're not gonna be compatible with everybody.
Right.
And I'd rather not put on a face and then have to maintain that. And then we were talking about the mask earlier, right? So you put on this face, you put on this facade, like this great person that you are. And then a friend of mine who kind of got me into some of the psychology of it a couple years ago, I think it takes like around about 6 months, around that time, like between 4 to 6 months, that's when the mask starts to fade. Yeah. Right?
When the representative goes away.
Yes.
And you start seeing the real person.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I'd rather not do that, because for me, it's like lying, basically.
It is lying.
It is lying. Yeah. Yes.
My memory is too shitty to be trying to keep up with the facade. So I'm like, you know what? You're just gonna get robbed from day one. That's what it is.
The crazy thing is though, like when I talk to my guy friends, I always tell them like, you really don't have to lie. Like, you'd be surprised if you just be upfront about whatever it is, what your intentions are, what you're looking for, what you're not gonna do. You'd be surprised if you just be honest how many women are willing to accept
even if you're like, you have some fucked up viewpoints or anything, like or stories to tell or a past.
You would be surprised, because most women want to make the choice for myself.
Yes.
If you're telling me some fuck shit, I want to make the choice for myself to deal up with it. Rather than you lying to me and now I look stupid and I'm dealing with your fuck shit. Like, most women just want the choice. If you just be upfront and honest, and you'll be surprised how many are willing to rock with it.
I just don't understand even the thought of like starting a lie and then building up on that lie. I do not understand why somebody, and we had that conversation in the car before when we drove here, why would somebody even have not just the audacity, but even the idea to have to build up something in order for them to shine, and then they have to keep building up. And in a matter of like a few days, there's already so much bullshit piled up. But like for like a person like me would never guess, because I'm not a liar. So like a person like me would never guess that there's a lie, because it's like, why? Like, where's the point? Like there's, because I'm such an open person, like so fucking open-minded, right? That I mean, like that I appreciate, like you just said, the truth, and I can handle the truth, and we can work through this. And if you tell me some fucked up shit, I might still be interested in you. I might still like vibe with you and like want to fuck, you know, not like that. Cut that out. Fuck with you. That's what I want to say. Take that out. Take that out. Take that out. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Fuck with you. Fuck with you. I wanted to say that. I wanted to say fuck with you. I fuck with you. Like not wanna fuck with you. Shut up. I'm getting all blush and stuff. You know exactly what I mean. I'm German.
Yeah, I know what you said.
Yeah, girl, I know exactly what you
I didn't mean it like that. I wanted to say, like, I fuck with you.
Germans are very direct when they speak.
Very.
So,
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, like, I still want to hang out with you. Whatever. Cut. This is the cut sign. Shut up. What I wanted to say though, I feel so after this whole thing, so I might still want to continue the conversation with them and more. But what I feel like the more, I sometimes wonder when guys are so outspoken and they're like kind of lure you in a conversation and they give you all like they kind of love bomb you the whole time. And like you said, like they kind of take it away eventually. I had that happen to me too. I wonder sometimes, is this something that is intentional, or is that something that is so fucked up in their brain that like that they don't even want to hurt you, but they just know how to get the reactions that kind of feed off the which one?
Yes to both.
Wait, can I give my woman perspective?
Go ahead, get it.
And then
Go ahead.
You confirm yes or no, because earlier you had talked about how men talk about what women want amongst men. Women do the same thing. So we experience these things and we try to interpret them and what they mean amongst ourselves. So when you were saying that, I think it's both. And I think it's both because one, this is what you see, that as a man, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I think you do have some who play a game and who have figured out at some point along in this is what I'm supposed to do, that, hey, this actually gives women, and I can like start chipping away at it to where, like I said before, I'm just doing the bare minimum and that's enough for her. And they're intentionally doing it. But I do feel that some of it is the same way women get socialized to get married and have a kid. There's still a level of that with men. And so I feel like it's the same level. To a certain degree, they want that because they've been told that that's what they're supposed to have.
It all comes from the same place.
But then they also have like their own desires and what they want, and like society is telling me I need to marry her, I need to be with her, but I still want to be out here. So I'm going to play along with this because it might work out and I could get and have what society is telling me that I should have, but my deep down desire is to go over here. So maybe I can do both. Am I right?
Bingo, bango.
Oh, this is just what I
act like a lady, think like a man. Shout out to Steve Harvey.
Yep.
That's actually 1-to-1 what I experienced last year.
Yeah.
And you all saw it. My friends all saw it. And I don't know, like the voice messages you sent me at the very end of like my disastrous relationship. I wish I could play it because it's so sincere. And it was just like a 1 minute shut up. It was just a one minute thing, and she's like, listen, like I just want to kind of wash your head for a moment, focus, like, and it did a lot. Anyways, but yeah, that's exactly what I experienced, what you just said. Like you have the good thing back home, and you kind of like society tells you this is where we're aiming at, this is the showcase person. However, meow. So that's why like coming out of this relationship, for me, I feel so liberated now. So for me, everything is new. I'm not playing games no more. If I don't like you, I'm not gonna say it this time. I'm not gonna vibe with you. That's it. If I vibe with you, I give you the chance with no expectations to be a person for me. Let's see. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just, anything that happens to me at this point in my life, after a long-term marriage and after like being cheated on left and right in my last relationship, is going to be in addition to my happiness. The end. There's no way I'm going to ever commit to anything that doesn't make me happy. The moment I feel this is off, they're cut off. The end. And everybody should act like that.
Absolutely.
Because like we don't have time to waste.
No, at all.
Fucking leeches.
It was nice to meet you. Wish
Not.
you the best of luck in your future dating endeavors. That's my parting message.
A feminist friend of mine told me many years ago that we need to name the systems of oppression, because if you think about the language that both of you used, you said society, right? This is a very generic term. Like it's like it's just out there in the ether. Society.
Yeah.
But what kind of society is it?
American.
It's patriarchal society. Exactly.
But American is patriarchal.
Right,
so,
of course. And then we got white supremacy, and it's a whole bunch of other shit, right? But in this case, we're talking about patriarchy, and within patriarchy, men are supposed to be the hunters, women are the prey, right? And if we're talking heteronormative, right, men have to use all these techniques and blah 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 to get the woman.
Right.
Now, also how you mentioned, a lot of women, they don't necessarily feel like they want this, family and all of these typical things that you're supposed to have, like the nuclear family, right? You get married, you have kids, you have the white picket fence, all that other happy horse shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Happy
Hey.
horse shit.
Right?
Ow,
And that
dated
can work, but it's just like we're conditioned that everybody has to do that,
Right.
when it's not necessarily something for you.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are pursuing this goal that's not even theirs.
It's not natural.
Exactly. Now, could it work out for some people? Absolutely. But is it supposed to?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Shouldn't
And the
be
thing is,
norm.
exactly, but it
The norm
is,
anymore.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's been normalized
Yeah.
ever since. You know what? I'm not going to go into that conversation. But like it's been normalized, so we think that that's what we have to do. And this is how I was like in my early young adult years, like when I was 18, 20ish. I thought I'm supposed to be in a relationship. I'm supposed to have a girlfriend, and I have to make all these grand gestures and blah blah blah. And I won't say I was unhappy, but I was just going through the motions, right? Because I thought that's what I'm supposed to do.
And hurting a lot of people along the way, I'm sure.
Ooh, yeah, there's a whole episode we could do on that shit. It's been a learning process over the past 30 something years, right? But yeah, there's a lot of shit that I had to unlearn and relearn and just accept about what is okay for me. And people ask me why I'm so single, because they think like I'm a good guy and all this other bullshit. I never had any role models, so I've just been kind of like figuring shit out since I was 10. So and I've just been like figuring out what works for me and what doesn't. And like I mentioned earlier, like in my early young adult years, I thought this is what I'm supposed to do, so I was just going along with it. And like my first 5 girlfriends were just because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, but I wasn't really completely happy, right? And over the years, it just like I became more distant from this whole concept of traditional relationships. And I was still kind of engaging, but I just wasn't feeling it, you know. And I feel like a lot of people, especially a lot of men, are also not feeling it,
Mhm.
but they feel that pressure from
They
this
haven't
patriarchal
clicked
society.
unsubscribe yet.
Yes,
They
exactly.
haven't unsubscribed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fucked up part about it is men will complain every single day about all of these things that hurt them
Mhm.
without naming the system that it comes from.
But also women.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Because, you know, at the same time, men will be like, oh, yeah, well, women, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, because women bought into it. As a marginalized group, they're like, you know what? If we can't beat them, I might as well pay along because, hey, I might die if I fight this shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, literally. So,
Really does.
so I can't blame a marginalized group for supporting the power structure that is oppressing them because, like, hey, if I could survive and not die, okay, yeah, sure. I'm going to play along with this.
Yeah.
And that's the part that the men don't understand because we have the power to change this shit,
Mhm.
really. Because obviously it wasn't like men from today that created patriarchy. However, it is our responsibility to help dismantle it so we can have a more egalitarian society, right?
Mhm.
But, and here's where it gets even more complicated because we feel like that little bit of power, the illusion of power that this patriarchal society gives us
Mhm.
is worth it to hold on to it. So we perpetuate all this alpha male bullshit and like, oh yeah, the man's gotta be the man and the woman's gotta be
Being
down
her, like,
here.
feminine energy.
Yeah, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Because I'm all about being in my
Whoa,
feminine.
no, pause. Wait.
That's
Okay.
different though, like if you're feeling yourself, but like if you're being told that you have this is the right way to
Yes.
be in your feminine energy, because that's when you are a woman and that's the only way to be true to yourself. That's different than feeling yourself and being feminine
Yes.
when you have a counterpart that is like putting you in that situation because you're vibing. But if we're always told like, well, like I saw so many podcasts about this, like, oh, women in their feminine energy and this is how it happens. This is not our goal. We don't need to be in our feminine energy. It happens when you're the right person to put us in our feminine energy, but this is not my goal. I can still stand on my own.
Yeah.
If you give me that, pff,
But
Yeah.
that goes back to like talking about buzzword
Yes.
submissive. Okay.
Oh God.
With that, I
Yes.
think any woman has the capability to be submissive.
yes, and I love it.
But
if
it comes with an energy.
Yes.
You're giving me that energy, like you're taking care of things. I trust you
Yes.
to lead my life. Of course I'm gonna be submissive.
Yep,
We don't even
absolutely.
need to talk about it. It's just gonna happen. But if you're a person that has to say, I need my woman to be submissive,
Yeah.
you already don't possess
Nope.
the energy to
Absolutely
invoke
not.
that in your woman.
No, yeah,
So the
exactly.
same thing
Yeah.
with like the feminine energy. It's like women, I want to be soft.
Mhm.
I want
Yes,
to be
of
feminine.
course.
I want to feel safe with a man that I can be delicate.
See, you just mentioned the most important part of all of this:
Mm.
feeling safe.
Yes.
Right? Exactly.
safe. Yes.
I want to feel safe to be myself,
Yeah.
which I am a feminine woman.
Same.
And I want to feel safe to be that. But if I'm in
Yeah.
a situation where I'm dating, that's why part of the reason I feel like I'm still single is because I keep encountering men that
Did not make you feel safe?
that allow me to exert dominance over them.
Mm.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like to
And
be put in that
I'm trying to
situation either.
use that term like exert dominance as opposed to calling a man soft.
Yeah.
Or too nice. Because
I
I
know
don't
that's-
feel like there's such a thing as being too nice.
Yeah.
I feel like
Thank
there's such a thing
you.
as you're just being a doormat.
Mm.
You can be a nice man, but
Absolutely.
still have a boundary of
Absolutely.
like, you need to relax.
Yeah.
This is what we're not gonna do.
Mm.
I'm a good man. I'm a nice man. I'm doing these things because I'm a gentleman, whatever. But you're not gonna take advantage of me, and you're not gonna walk all over me. You're not gonna talk to me crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Those two things can coexist. But
Mhm.
I feel like I've been encountering guys that don't have that level of dominance to allow me to give me the leeway to be submissive or to be that feminine woman like I want to
Yeah.
be. I gotta plan everything. Everything comes down to me and what I want to do. You don't take any type of initiative, which
Yeah,
goes back to
yeah.
my original statement about how social media and dating apps make guys lazy. when it comes to dating, because everything just comes so freaking easy for them. You just click and swipe and like, and all I gotta do is send you a hi, a how you doing.
Yeah.
There's no substance to anything, and with anything that we do, you want me to plan it.
But
I don't want a man like that. So I'm not. If I keep encountering that, I already can sense it off the rip, and I don't want it. Nice to meet you. Good luck in your dating journey.
Men goes through the same thing. Like, I mean, they
I don't care what a man go through. Sorry, it's the wine.
No, but seriously, men encounter the same thing with like the lacking depth and without like having a conversation where everything is very shallow. And the more I've been single, the more I like men and the men point of view, because like I said, I think in the last podcast during my marriage, I kind of was anti-men a little bit, not because of my husband, but like because I kind of had like built myself a picture of men. And now getting in contact during the dating life, like they tell me their stories and what they went through and the struggle and the trauma and whatever. Not all of them are sheep and not all of them are good. But I feel the same way. Like I feel like safety is the number one point where I can let myself go, and I like to be submissive in any kind of way, because like I tell this to so many people. I'm so in charge of my life. Everything, my career, my raising my children, everything, where I would like to just, all right, okay, let's do this. Like where the other person is taking charge. That doesn't mean like I can't stand up for myself.
Whatever you
No, but I like to enjoy that, and this is a side of me that I do not want to not experience anymore, and that's why. When I see men like doing this the wrong way, they're filtered out right away. I'm not even gonna let that pass. Like I want this communication, but then I want like a male energy, like a masculine energy. At the same time, there is like communication, so we kind of walking through this together.
What exactly does masculine energy mean to you?
Masculine energy is then the opposite of me. Like I like to feel like in the dating world, I like to feel like a woman.
What does that mean?
That means that I can be vulnerable. And that is, of course, tricky because you just get to meet a person. So you cannot just like lay out all your vulnerability. Very hard word for a German to say, by the way. Vulnerability. I'm a very on point and person that is also very timely. You know, I like to not punctual. Thank you.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm not.
I am.
Okay, yeah, you are actually.
Like, wait.
I was just.
Fire. When I'm dating, I'm punctual. If we make
We're not dating though.
we're not dating.
So that's okay.
It's different.
If we make a plan to meet
Is
someone,
Chaz there already? Where's Chaz?
No, if I'm late though, I used to tell people this. If
That's
I'm
true.
late, I'm intentionally late.
Why are you intentionally late with me
Because
though?
I know other people are not going to be on time. So
Okay.
I will be intentional.
However, as I was saying,
Sorry.
yeah. So I'm very punctual, and I do like to I do like men to take initiative. That doesn't need to always be, because I like I said, like I like to also show up, and I like to kind of say like, okay, this is what I got planned. But at the same time, I want that what's now? They're like bullying me. It's so mean. No,
No, but I think to go along with what you're saying, like there's been like a running trend on social media again, where women have been saying like, when I'm with my man, I want to turn my brain off.
I don't want to turn my brain off.
No. In the sense that you seen that TikTok trend too. No, in the sense that like when it comes to like basic stuff that of course I can do, but when I get in the car and he's like, "Oh, where is such and such?" or like, "Oh, on GPS," like, I don't know how to work GPS, like stupid stuff like that.
Passenger princess type
Yes.
shit. Oh God.
When I think of like masculine energy, that's the type of stuff that I think about. Just like stuff that yes I can do on my own. Like
the little stuff, like you see the age old, like asking a man to open a jar for you. I'm sure it might take me a little time, but I can open the freaking jar. But I'm gonna ask my man to open the jar, or if he sees me doing something, he'll come and he'll manual labor. He'll come and he'll do it. But I feel like as a single woman, there's so many things that we have been conditioned, like we just do it on our own because we have to. We have to be strong. Hate that word. Like pumping my own gas. If I pull up to the gas thing, I want my man to automatically get out of the car and pump my gas. Like those type of things, masculine things. Like when I'm looking for like something long term, those little subtle things are things that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what my go-to main thing is? I made yourself a coffee. I'm melting.
Simple.
This is it.
Taking
Get me a
to do
coffee.
things
Like when we're
that.
somewhere out, like when we're like in a different city, and he's like, "Hey, I just got you a coffee," because it's very easy.
Yeah.
I like my coffee black
Yeah.
and large.
Same.
I just got that for
Long
you.
and black.
Long and black.
You know what? You know what?
No,
man?
but
Cut
like-
shit out because
and
now all of a sudden
better.
it's gonna be raw. Okay, all right.
No, but it's very easy to get me a coffee. It's coffee. Like I got you a coffee. The end. Like for me, that's like like these little gestures.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I do like when men open doors, but like it's because Germans don't do that for you.
Open my door. Take
Like,
the
open
trash
the door
out.
for me. Well, yeah, take the trash out, of course, but like if I don't intend to live with a man, like I would like to live on my own.
Even if I don't live with him, he know my trash need to be taken. He be at my house.
Bruh.
He be at my house.
You see the trash motherfucker? Like the hell?
You know the trash.
It's like that, like little flies circling over it.
Wash
It
my
is
car.
time.
My car needs to be washed. When the last time I got an oil change? I don't know.
Oh, what?
No,
No,
we're
that's
not
not
on the same
true.
page here, Chaz. Like
That's the
absolutely
page I'm
not.
on.
Hey, and that's okay. Like,
Yeah, no, it's
everybody
fine.
got their something, like Nika Costa said. You know. So,
But what I'm saying, like when I think of like masculine, stereotypical masculine.
Oh yeah,
that's the
you
type of
you
stuff
hit
I'm
all the
talking
bullet
about.
points.
That's what I'm talking about.
But like I'm paying for your nails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really?
Sure.
Like for real?
Sure.
No, that's not me. Like
I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, if we're dating and you're being specific, not Pacific, and you're being specific about how you want my nails to look, how you want my hair to look, how
okay.
you want my
Yeah,
wax to be, you need to pay for it.
that's
Yeah.
different.
Because you being
No,
real
that's not-
vocal
actually not
about some
different.
shit that
Still,
ain't
like-
coming out of
That
your
is
wallet.
that's different though. Like
That's what
if
I
they're okay, I can understand that.
But right now, the nails ain't done.
Oh god damn! Yo, what
I'm
the
getting them
fuck?
done.
What the
Hold the
fuck?
fuck up. I'm
Yo.
getting them done tomorrow, but because I want to.
Ooh,
If I was dating a man who
Damn.
was like, damn, babe, you ain't got your nails done,
damn.
you ain't gave me the money to get them done, don't say nothing. Stop looking at my hand.
You put it up there, so now I can't
They're
stop
not
looking
done,
at
but I'm
them.
saying like things like that. If you got an opinion about what I got going on,
Shit. I
tell
have
the
an
proof of funds.
I have an opinion, but
Pay me.
I'm broke, so I can't really
Well,
help you out right
then,
now.
Keep your mouth shut. I don't want to hear it. Zip the lip, okay?
What?
Zip the lip.
I ain't talking about.
Which one?
If you ain't,
There she
on
goes.
my maintenance,
That's strike
I don't
number
wanna hear it.
3. That's
Yeah, I know,
strike
like, I
I
number
don't wanna hear it.
3.
If you ain't putting in on my maintenance,
First
I
it
don't
was,
wanna hear
oh, we gotta cut this shit out. Oh my god, and now it was just like, let it go.
I ain't say we gotta cut nothing.
Yeah,
Good
you
one.
good. It's this one over here.
We ain't gotta cut nothing. Okay?
Yeah, like when I think of masculine, that's what I think about. Like just like minuscule, like traditional role, manly role things.
You know what I like?
That's what I want the man to do.
I mean, amongst other things,
But I
but
ain't
like,
gonna cook.
you know what I like?
We ain't gonna talk about
It's like, no, I like
Is
to be like, no, it's not. It's
PG rated or
R rated, we're
X rated?
what I like is everything.
You never know what it's gonna be with me.
See, I always get bullied.
And
For my
let her
friends.
speak. Beatrice.
Yeah.
Speak, girl.
What I like is like a guy just coming and say, "Come here."
Mm,
That's
I like
it.
that, yeah.
Yeah, right? Come here and giving me a long hug, like a long, where I like kind of pull the energy, like where it's like a charging
Yes,
station. That's it. Come here. No like touchy, no kiss. Just come here. Like I see like you had a hard day. Like, come here. Oh my God. Holy shit, yes, absolutely. The end. What? Take the pants off? No. Gosh, I cannot even talk to them anymore. This is like not fun to me because they don't take me seriously. I just want to hug every once in a while.
And tell me to pull my panties off.
Well, yeah, that comes later. Like 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah, it's a very long hug.
Long hug, 5 minutes, and it's on.
Hashtag masculine energy. We love it. We love it.
Well, what was it? Anthony Mackie? Like, is that his name? He's hot. But like the Falcon. Is that his name? Yeah. Where he was like on some shows, he's like, well, like if I do this, you're gonna make me a sandwich.
Wait, what was that from?
Right? Do you remember that?
What was that?
Why are you saying when you're like?
That's my thinking.
Like he on what show was he? Gosh, like he was basically saying like if I'm showing up as a man and then I'm asking you for a sandwich, you're gonna make me a sandwich, right? Yeah. And then the host was like. Ugh!
Well, so yes.
And I kind of feel it though because I'm like, and that's the gender roles that you fucking hate so much.
Even though I really despise gender roles so much, you make very valid points, right? Because like no, like you made like when you made the point about men being very specific about how they want you to look, like hey, how are you contributing to that?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you gonna pay for this shit? Like
money.
Exactly, that shit's expensive.
Yeah,
you know. So if you're making all these demands, how are you showing up?
Did you ever have a man demanding that?
Do that?
Sorry.
Hell no.
No, right? Because that would not be the man for you though. Like you're saying all that.
No.
This is like
so the thing is, you know, men. You know, we're conditioned to be in this, as you say, stereotypical masculine role, right? But the thing is, they're not holding up their end of the bargain. Like they're saying, like, oh yeah, women need to be feminine and soft and all of these traditional gender role based things, but at the same time, they're not holding up their end of the bargain. Right. Okay, you want this woman to be this, and that. Okay, are you actually being that? Because women are like, okay. Fine. We'll play these gender roles. We'll support your patriarchy. Okay, now provide.
Yeah.
Oh, but I don't want to do that. Shut the fuck up then.
You want me to pay for your dinner? You better be giving me some pussy like. Since when do the $20 you got in your wallet equate to what I got in my penis?
Right. And that's the thing, yeah, because every single thing becomes transactional, right? But if you're gonna be transactional, you have to be able to afford it.
Cheers to that.
I need more drink.
Because you're a fucking alcoholic.
You want to be transactional?
Yeah.
You need to be able to afford it.
Yeah, like if you want to be like fair and equal and all that shit, do that. But if you want to be transactional, be sure you can afford it. Like as the saying goes, don't write checks your ass can't cash. Right.
But I have to say, like when it comes to transactions and stuff like that, I like to pamper and take care of a man.
Yeah.
Even if that puts me really in a submissive and listen.
That puts you more in the dominant
caregiver, like a mom.
Oh, shut up.
And that's what they want.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't want to be a mommy to no man.
Butler.
No. Absolutely not. That I take
but
that.
I feel like there's
I don't feel like that's the same thing. If I'm pampering my
I see what you're saying.
My
at the same time,
man.
A lot of men, they want a second mother.
Ugh.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I know.
I'm like, no, I don't.
They think they want a wife, but they want a stepmommy.
And that's yet another reason why
I had that like last year. Like this particular person, he was like, can you do this? My mom always used to do that. I'm like,
God, wow, he said it directly.
Oh, he said it.
Oh hell.
Or he would like,
or saying it,
or he would say like,
well, no,
yeah.
because we said. As long as you be upfront and honest.
Yeah, but no.
Surprised by how many women.
Not in this case.
Willing to put up with it, but he's probably said that to other women. Can my mom do this?
Yeah.
And people be okay to rock with it.
No, and I rocked with
Some
it because you
women
know
would
that
be
I rocked
creepy
with it
enough
for a
to, like,
while.
agree with that. It's like, you
Hey,
understand how creepy that
I
is?
don't kink.
I always just
kink shame.
no, but I always
You're
said
like
like I'm
a
not your
shebang.
mommy, like I'm not your mom, like I am not. Might be the same age, but like I'm not your mom.
Wow.
It's true. It's true, okay?
Wow.
We cannot deny my past.
Yeah.
It was an interesting year. Interesting, but not like in hindsight, not
Was he more
positive.
than 10 years younger than you?
14.
You could have been his irresponsible mama.
What? It
I said you
could.
could have been his irresponsible mother.
Yeah,
Out
I
there
need to
fucking
finish
at
the rest of
14.
this because what the fuck?
That is, no. I have to say something though.
14 years? Fam.
If the tables were turned, and I was the guy and he was the girl, and we're 14 years apart. Yeah, that's your opinion, but society,
Yeah.
How old am
I
I?
don't give
Would-
a fuck about
you're
patriarchal
36,
society. That's just
35.
I could date somebody. Well, not date. I could entertain.
I was 41 when I met him, and he was 27 when I met him. And then he turned eventually I turned 42. So it's like 14 years. Was 13 and a half or whatever.
27 ain't horrible. It's not great either.
But what did you say?
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say a motherfucking thing.
What have you
Rob was
been?
over there laughing.
But like that time is definitely like no. But I learned my lesson.
Good.
Because I talked to a very good friend of mine that like I kind of picked his brain for a moment. Another friend than you are to me, but like you said, because you had like so much, you did the gagging right away when I told you like how old he was. You
Because
did
14
not
years is a
show
lot.
support.
I'm
but
sorry.
it's okay.
I just
But-
cannot imagine me dating somebody 14 years younger than me.
I could not also
What
have,
about
but
you?
like at the moment where I'm not being heard today.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Beatrice. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The moment where I met him, I was like weak for this kind of attention, and he was at that point where we met. He did the whole like shedding down the attention part. Like so, we started strong, and then we're like,
Yeah.
like turned out that the whole time he was already, but I didn't get it because I was, and we said that in the last thing. No, I was not thirsty, but I was like in love with me, being in love with being in love and love and love. The idea of like experiencing love, even though I shouldn't, because I had a good relationship with my husband in my marriage, so I experienced a lot of love. But after a year of dating and shallow fun, I was just like ready to kind of like dip back into like a little bit more sincere feelings. And I was coming from a very, 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 very toxic motherfucker that like did where I would like gaslighting and love bombing and gaslighting and love bombing and all that. I would just learn it and I would research it. Shut up. And I would research it and I would like kind of see how it's happening to me while it's happening to me. I'm like, shit, I'm trapped in this though. Because like he had so much finesse in it where I'm like, oh my God, I'm trapped and I know what he's doing, but how do I get out? And I pulled myself out. And then all of a sudden came somebody so insignificant. But to me, he was just like so calm. And I was just like, yeah, this one. Absolutely. And then, and then I kind of
at a vulnerable place.
Absolutely.
Where
and
you
that's where
had this idea of what you wanted, what you thought you needed, what you thought you deserved. And you had this person presenting themselves as all of these things, and you wanted to believe it so bad.
But it taught me so much. Like looking back at this year, like just within the past few weeks, months, like I have so much more clarity about until like probably the next motherfucker is coming up and shows like a brand new scheme of shit. But like I guess like now I have like even grounded myself more in the singlehood, and then knowing that I'm enough for myself, and anything else is an addition. Not just like in dating, but also in jobs. Like I'm standing for my own, and everything that comes can be like a little decoration and can bloom into something and blossom into something big. But like at least I know I have myself as the source, the foundation. Yeah.
And who you are.
And you're so like, I mean, you're so much younger than me. And she has so much wisdom when it comes to that. And I'm like, how is that?
Because you know what though? I've always been the type of person, even from childhood, I don't need to learn things the hard way. I've never been that way. I heed people's warnings, different things that friends, family have been through. I've always taken that and I learned from their experiences. I've never needed to experience it myself to know that this is not good for me. So I feel like that's where some of my wisdom comes from, is because I truly take everything in and I learn from it. And like as things happen throughout life, like I just never needed to experience it myself to know that it was bad. So I feel like that's where some of the things that I've learned along the way have come from. Like a lot of things I have not personally experienced. So like some of the stuff when people are talking about different bad things they've experienced in dating, I can't relate. And that's not like to be like a flex. Like I legit can't relate because I haven't experienced that. And I feel like I've collected so many tools from different people in my life that when I see things, you know me. It's too easy for me to be like, this ain't gonna work. Goodbye. Because I can see those red flags from a mile away, and I'm at this point, I'm not gonna entertain it. Now, I'm not saying I've always been this way. Early 20s, Chaz, TT. I introduced myself at the beginning of the show as TT, but my name is Chaz. So, anywho, early 20s, Chaz. I was like, because I had not experienced dating and stuff in high school because I wasn't allowed to. The moment that I did get that attention from a man, I'm not gonna lie, like I was wide open. I had lost a lot of weight, so I was starting to get a lot of attention that I've never experienced before. So I was giving myself to so many people that truly weren't deserving of it, and finding myself very heartbroken. And I experienced things through that lens. But as far as like I can honestly say, I've never been in love. I've never been in love. I've been in lust.
Really?
Because my thought process is, if I've been in love, I would know. I wouldn't have to think about it. So when somebody asks you, have you ever been in love? You have to be like, the answer is no. Damn. Because if you were, you would know. And I've never been in love.
That's true. You would know.
You would know.
That's
I've been in deep lust. Somebody that I thought I was going to marry, but that was because that person reminded me, it always takes me back to the Alicia Keys song, Teenage Love. That person took me back to that because I never had that as a teenager because I wasn't allowed to date. So when I was an adult and he was younger than me, I was like 26, 27 at the time, and he was 19. We're not going to talk about that.
Oh!
We're not going to talk about it.
That's okay. I'm not
going to talk about that. But I was like I thought I was in love with him, but I was just in lust in life because I had never experienced
Rob,
that.
Open up. Open your mind. I had never
experienced that type of infatuation with a person before. And thankfully, nothing happened. He was in the military.
Oh.
He ended up doing 30 days confinement, got kicked out, and I cut ties.
Wow.
Listen.
The plot thickens.
It goes deep. That's another topic for another episode. Dating woes. But anyway, I say all that to say, like, I never had to experience really, really deep things. Like, I've never been married. I don't have kids. So there are certain things that I've taken from my friends that have been married, that do have children, so that when I do encounter that or get close to that in my life, I have all of these things locked in my memory. So that's why I seem wiser than I probably am from experience-wise, is because I take heed to everything you guys say. So single women, if you're still single, you ain't never been married, you don't have no kids or anything like that, like, take heed and learn from your friends. Learn from the different things that they've experienced. Yeah, everybody's experience is going to be different, but everybody, you can learn something from everybody.
Facts.
And I have.
That's my motto.
I truly have. And I'm so thankful for the friends that I've encountered throughout my life that have taught me so much, so that when I do get to the point, I'm considering being ready to have a child. And there are lots of things that I have now in my mental toolbox that I feel like are going to help prepare me. And I have built up that village that's also going to help me when I enter into that next phase of my life, because I don't plan on being single and childless for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So when we're talking about wisdom, we're talking about like
Collective
a wise
experiences.
person learns from other people's
Yes.
experiences.
Earlier, I mentioned how I'm so logical or whatever. It's not just by default. It's because of literally decades of listening to people and learning from all these other experiences. And, you know, earlier you asked me, was it mostly women that I got those stories? Yes, because like 90% of my, well, maybe 95% of my friends are women. So all of these stories and things that I know is because of something that I've heard before. And sometimes, many times, you know, and the thing is, like, sometimes these patterns repeat. So that inquisitive, logical person that I am, right, I feel like I can usually dissect and figure out shit, right? So, like, my brain is just this, even though my memory is shit, like, it attaches to important events, right? So when people tell me stories, it gets cataloged. Yeah. It gets cataloged. Like you were saying, you have all these experiences that other people had, all these stories that people tell me, and it's just like I just put all the pieces together. It's like, oh, I'll put this and then okay, wait a minute, that happened to this person and this happened. And it's like you start to see patterns that repeat. Right? And it's like, oh, okay. So the next time somebody tells me something, it's like, okay, yeah, I've seen this before. And it almost like 99% of the time, it happens this way, right? And you did this, and that's why they did this. And now your dumb ass is stuck because you refuse to accept the reality when you're just looking at the image of what you want to be, which brings us back to the whole social media thing, because people fucking promote this image of what they want other people to see instead of who they actually are and what the reality actually is.
But that's why I see so much wisdom in both of you, because for me, I see like I'm just thrown in this situation as a 20-year-old.
Right.
Because I was in a working relation, like I was in a relationship for 19 years. And so I can tell you a lot about working and like the perks of like making a relationship work with like all the ups and downs. And I would never, like I said, that I don't want to repeat too much from the last episode. Like I would never call my relationship with my ex-husband as a failed marriage, because it was not a failed marriage. It was a long marriage for us being so young and staying in for almost 20 years. It was a good experience. But now being thrown into this dating world with new technology connected to it,
It's like you got out of
with having to match the not only sexual energy but also energy at all with usually younger men, because the men that are my age have been going through the same thing, so they have like the same ways where I'm like looking for new energy. And I want like
men that are your age, my age, they're kind of stuck
in their ways. Yes, and they're not, it's nothing bad about that, and I'm pretty sure there's also some that are matching with me, but I'm looking for a challenge, and I'm looking for new because I'm interested in people, and I like to encounter new situations, and that's why I'm attracted to younger men. And I think many of us women in my age, in their early 40s, go through that if they have separated from long-term relationship, that they find like this energy intriguing. Is that intriguing? Yeah.
That energy is just like a level of non-commitment that comes with that. You're leaving this serious situation, kids, family, assets.
I'm not leaving my kids, but like let's just leave that situation out of like a
situation
individual
that involved kids and assets and all these other things. I want something that is just not complicated. Yeah. And that comes with younger men.
And then guess what? It is complicated. Fuck. Because it is.
It most of the time. It
does not have to be. But those people, rightfully so, are not at that point where I am. Mm-hmm. So they're looking for something else. And that's where the conflict comes. Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, you really have, like, I'm done with tiptoeing around. Like, I'm very open about like what I'm looking for and what I'm like, you know. And that's nice that we're like, because you're listening to my bullshit a lot.
Yeah, I do listen to
and you're listening to my bullshit a lot. Sorry.
But that's okay though, because that helps me learn.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I don't mind. My personality type, the way I am, it just adds to my own tool shed. It's the same thing like in work, being in the military, like they say, you encounter bad leaders, you encounter good leaders. There's no such thing as a leader you can't learn nothing from. You have leaders that you take their bad traits and you say, I don't want to be anything like that. Yep. And you have good leaders that say, I want to embody that. So I look at relationships and stuff the same way when I'm talking to my friends. There are things that they've experienced that I say, I don't want to experience that. And they've told me the signs and the things that they saw. So I know these are some things that I need to look out for. I take from that. So I don't consider it listening to your bullshit. To me, I'm a student and I'm learning.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yes,
I feel like she's much more mature.
The bullshit.
I'm a student, PhD in the BS. Baby. Okay, I'm learning every day.
But that's the thing, though. Everybody got bullshit. I got bullshit. Everybody. You got bullshit. You got bullshit.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's levels to this shit.
Yeah. There's levels to the bullshit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Just from my experiences in life over the past 30-ish years, just I began to realize that sometimes people just really need to be heard. Because there would be times where like I would want to interject into the story, but I was like, you know what? Shut the fuck up. Just pause. Listen.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's so important. Yes.
I don't need to relate. I don't need to provide an anecdote.
Yes.
I just need to listen.
Yes. And like that's something for me that I've had to control, because like if I feel like there's been something similar to experience that I've had, like I want to interject that. And like even at work, I doubt anybody I work with is going to see this, but there's been people that like you know those people where you're talking about something and they just always have to have a story that compares to
I just wanted to say something very forceful.
It's like, okay, shut the fuck up. You don't have to be better. You don't.
The part of that though, like, is I feel like for the most part, I feel like in those situations, people are just trying to relate.
Yes.
And just trying to
this is true.
help you to see that they understand
but there's
the feeling that you're feeling
around about them.
But they don't understand the timing of it.
Facts.
Like, let me get everything I need to get out, and then later on, if we circle back to it, then you can interject about how you've been to the same thing and you personally know how I feel. But in the moment when I'm trying to express how I feel, shut up.
Do you know what something I've started doing, even in like dating and personal relationships, I try to do it, is asking when somebody starts telling me something, are you telling me this because you want me to help you find a solution?
Yeah.
Or are you just venting? Because that will determine the manner in which I listen.
She actually said that to me. She's like,
that is a tricky statement to make, because that can also lead people to shut down.
No.
So no. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yeah.
But it can be tricky. But so what I usually do is just I let people talk, and I like me being an empath. Like I just allow people to express how they feel, and I let them do it for however long it takes them, and then I'll say something. But if like I interject from the beginning, like, okay, do you just want to vent or do you want a solution? That's like, I mean, I'm a supervisor, so I need to be a solution oriented, but usually I just let them talk, because I'm
but I feel like
that
if you get that out up front, that hey, do you want to talk to vent, or do you want to talk because you want to help? You want me to help you find a solution? I feel like if they are indeed coming just to vent, then I feel like that will help them open up more and knowing that I'm not about to interject. Whatever you have to say, I'm taking it in.
I feel that.
And then at the end, we can assess, hey, have you changed your mind on whether or not you want me to help you find a solution, or did you just want to get it out? But I feel like if it's clear at the beginning, and I think also too, it's the way you deliver it. You say like,
that
is
part.
you coming here to just vent, or you want me to help you figure out your solution? No. That's not how I'm saying. I'm saying like, okay, I'm your friend and I'm here for you. Yeah. Do you want me to help you find a solution, or do you just want to let me know how you're feeling? And if they say, I just want to let you know how I'm feeling, go ahead, hit it. But I think the same thing can be applied to dating. Again, going back to where we're talking about how men are solution based. If men adapt that mindset, and like when your girl or whoever, your partner, because we're inclusive around here.
Absolutely.
When your partner is coming to you saying, you know, oh my God, like such and such happened, then you can at least have the body language or the aura of, are you coming to me? Do you just want to vent, or do you want me to help you find a solution with this? And it could be just that simple. It's like, I just need to get this shit out. Cool. And if you establish that type of communication early on in your relationship,
that's a good point.
Then it's not so awkward if you phrase it that way, because they already know, like, they're going to ask me this. And then eventually they'll start coming to you. I'm just trying to vent. I don't need you to fix nothing. This what happened. Brrr. And that's how it'll happen eventually. But you have to be open and honest about those type of things. So it's all about creating, again, circling back to the beginning, safe. Yes, creating that safe space for people to express themselves in whatever way they see fit, without any fear of being judged, or that you're going to try to invalidate what they're saying or anything like that.
Or how do you experience the desire to be safe as a man in a relationship?
What do you mean?
That's a good question. I think
because we're talking about
vulnerability.
Yes.
Because we're always talking about, we want men to be vulnerable.
Because you're a feminist and you're like empathist or empath.
Yeah. So B already knows where I'm going to go with this. So within patriarchy, men have to be strong all the goddamn time. We have zero space for vulnerability, and that is part of the problem, because we have to be on all the time under patriarchy, right? But that's the thing. I'm like, hey, you can be soft sometimes too. You can be vulnerable as well too. And I know a lot of guys say, oh, well, whenever I try to be vulnerable, blah, 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 women do this. Okay. Again, what are you doing to provoke that? Right. Are you allowing them to be safe? Right? And what they don't address is what they did prior to the woman having the reaction that she did. Like, if we're gonna keep it a buck, we gotta discuss the whole situation. You can't just talk about her reaction. You gotta talk about what led to that reaction, and that's the shit that we never talk. Well, we do, but rarely talk about it. So a lot of times, men will say, you know, I have to be strong all the time. Okay, I get that. That's part of the gender roles on the patriarchy, right? A lot of this has to do with men supporting other men, because a lot of times, we go back to that where we said earlier about men talking to other men about what women want. And the problem is, it's usually men that are saying, hey, you's a bitch, or you soft, and blah, blah, blah. And I'll never be that way. Yeah, exactly. Right? So it's like, men, and I try to tell the few male friends that I have, like, hey, you have to support each other. You have to let your other male friends know, like, hey, it's okay to be vulnerable around me. And that's why I post some of the stories that I post, being like, hey, it's okay. You can be soft. You can cry. Men cry too. It's not something special. Right. Because the problem is, like, we're put into this tiny little box where the only emotion we can express is anger. Like, fam, no. Men are capable of the whole range of human emotions, but we're stuck on this one. right? Because we have to be hard all the time.
And that's the toxic masculinity.
Boom. That's the thing. And like they trying to, they just saying being a man is toxic. No, the fuck, we're not saying that. We're saying that the ways that you perform masculinity are toxic, not just being a man. Yeah,
it becomes toxic.
Exactly.
Saying a man can't express himself, he can't cry. Men's supposed to be strong. No. They're human.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
And it's all in how you express yourself.
Yeah.
You can be upset. Anybody can be upset. A child can be upset. But you don't want your child throwing a temper tantrum. Yep. You want to help them learn how to express whatever emotion they're feeling. If it's sadness, excitement, anger, joy, pain. You want to help them be able to express that in
Absolutely.
A productive way so that we can figure out, okay, we can identify what is causing this, and if it's a good emotion, this is something we want to continue. So how can we continue it? If it's a bad emotion, what do we need to do to help to stop it or to cease it or to ease it?
And part of this conversation, which is something that I wanted to talk about earlier, was that another factor that they don't consider is empathy and emotional intelligence. Because, right?
Emotional intelligence.
Yes, that emotional intelligence is the ability
social
to
skills.
Gauge your own emotions and others, and then like see where the balance is, right? Instead of just saying, this is how I feel and fuck it. If you don't agree with me, then we got a problem. But hey, I want to learn how you feel, why you feel that way, and then we can talk about how I feel and why I feel that way, and then we can meet somewhere in the middle. But if you have no empathy for the person you're talking to, then there's going to be a problem.
And see, that take me back to, so in the beginning when you were saying that you were a logical person, I was kind of like, right, because I feel like there was a video I saw where this guy was talking about being logical and being empathetic.
You got to combine both, though.
You have to combine both, because to be logical means that you can think from a logical perspective, what is something that might make this person upset?
Yep.
Okay? And if you are not able to think that way, that means you do not possess empathy, which means you are in fact not logical. Boom. So when men are saying, I think logically, women don't think logically.
No, you think don't. Like an asshole.
Yes, because to think logically is to have empathy. In order to think logically, you have to have empathy as well. So that part always, I was like, where you going with this? Because
it's the same.
I wanted to follow up with that, but you just kind of,
It's the same statement than when men say, I'm simple, I'm just a guy.
I hate that.
No, we're talking about emotions, and we're like, what do you care about? And they're like, I'm simple, I'm just a guy. And I don't let that shit fly anymore.
That's one of the things that I hate about gender roles, because it's like, oh yeah, men are simple and stupid.
I'm just a guy. Just do this and this. Because it's not even true. No. On top of it, it's just not true.
Yeah. It makes zero sense.
Because how boring. Okay, bye.
Why would you accept being this simple?
Yeah.
I'm a guy. I do it like this. Like if
simple creature.
No,
no, we don't live in caves anymore. Grow the fuck up.
Communication is the biggest thing. So for me, like in my dating life, I feel like I've done the work to learn how to communicate. I've been in therapy and identified different things that are triggers for me and different things that I used to do in the past that weren't healthy for relationships. And so when I encounter someone that I feel like has not done the work, I don't have the patience for that. Facts. And I'm quick to just be like, Facts. I wish you nothing but the best.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I used to be a person who would bottle things inside. Things would bother me. I wouldn't say nothing, and then the smallest thing would set me off. Yep. And now I have an attitude for the whole rest of the day, and I couldn't fix it even if I tried. I'm not that person no more, because I feel like I'm very vocal about the things that I like, the things that bother me, and I give you chances to acknowledge what I'm saying and to make the corrective actions. And if you don't, you're just not the person for me at this point in my life. And I feel like those are things that
when we're dating, you need to work on yourself internally before you can enter into anything with somebody else. And you have to be honest with yourself where you are in your life and what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. And when you do identify those things, you have to be okay with letting it go.
But also stripping down like the expectations that you have on yourself, like for not being open about who you really are.
Yes.
Like where you're like, you know, you brought up that like sometimes I have my moments where I'm like a little bit shy, even though I'm such an outgoing person.
It's so
but like I'm
to see, but I feel like you're like a flower that got damaged, but now you're starting to grow again.
Oh,
you know?
Concrete rose.
Yeah, right.
I'm a concrete rose.
Yeah. So like you're budding again. You got these new roots and like this plant over there that I almost killed that I'm growing again. I got some root hormone shit in the water. So yeah, like that's what you're doing right now. You got the
self pruning.
Yeah.
Picking off those bad leaves so that the good ones can flourish.
But the thing is also with that, you have to feed the things that make you grow, right? And I think you're doing that. You're just in the beginning phases of it.
And that's not just with like people you enter relationship with. That's with the people you keep around you.
Yep.
Yeah.
The people you have influencing you.
The foundation.
The people you have encouraging you when you're
that I let in my space.
Different things that are going on in your different relationships. Like you have people giving you sound advice. Not people telling you bullshit or feeding into again that overarching term, societal norms, people feeding into those things. So you're surrounding yourself with good people that are helping to feed and water your plant so that it can continue to blossom.
Say that shit. We talk about all of this and it reminds me of the topic of this podcast, which was relationships and social media. And we were talking about safety a few times here. And one of the responses I got to the story that I posted a while back was, people can cause drama or people outside influences are looking for drama and they want to fuck up relationships. But at the end of the day, talking about safety, you have to make sure that no matter what the circumstances, your partner knows that they are safe with you. It doesn't matter if it's on social media, in public, in private. They have to know that no matter what it is, they are safe with you, period. So
and not just your partner, anybody that you encounter actually.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we're talking about relationships, and relationships has many colors. Like,
of course. Of course.
A partner
there's
that
not just romantic relationships. There's platonic relationships. Oh my God, that's another episode because like we put so much energy on making romantic relationships the priority that we fail our platonic relationships.
I find like in my girlfriends or my friend circle, I find so much more strength than like a relationship that is romantically based could ever give me. And I will never because that is unbreakable, I would say almost. Right? Unless you really fuck up or like or something like that. Yeah.
Bros before hoes. What's the one for women though?
Chicks before dicks.
Yeah, there we go. Bros before hoes and chicks before dicks. I like that. That's dope. Yeah.
But I count you in my close circle of friends, so like I cannot even apply that. So I just friend zoned you, but but we friend zone each other all the time. So
that's also another topic.
Friend zoning.
You better be taking notes, man.
Yeah.
Episodes.
Because the whole concept of the friend zone is stupid, but
it is stupid. But like, however, like relationship, like not just in a romantical aspect, you need to have the safety.
Yes, absolutely.
Safety is the most important thing.
In any relationship, you got to be
feeling
and safe. I feel like that because of the empathy that I've grown over the years, I've learned how to cultivate safe spaces, and I pride myself on cultivating safe spaces. But that can be a gift and a curse, because that also means that motherfuckers want to tell me their entire life stories. But like
And
even
you become that person that people want to tell everything to.
Yes.
You don't have anybody to tell them.
Yes.
Sometimes.
And it's weird because like I do pride myself on creating these safe spaces, but at the same time, it can also be very draining. But even when I try to shut it down, like there's just something in me that just kind of automatically activates. Yeah. Yeah. It just like activates. Like I can't just not.
Yeah. It's all about finding the balance though.
Of course. Sometimes I have to like shut out.
Whatever. But yeah. You have to find the balance between being there for people, taking care of yourself, and then like, between those two things. So
it can be tough, but
yeah.
But
safe spaces for people.
Oh, absolutely. Team safe spaces.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that.
And making sure that your partners are secure and safe when they're around you. Doesn't matter if it's on social media, in public, in private, whatever. It needs to be the same all the time. Yeah. But I think we're gonna wrap up this second episode of the Tipping Point
with our special guest TT
and at the tipping point. Okay. We pour out, pour into other people. So cheers to the tipping point with our empty glasses.
Empty glasses were like...
We're not alcoholics.
We poured it all out right here on the podcast.
Yeah, isn't that symbolic?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chaz, for being here.
Thank you. Absolutely. It was lovely. I loved it. So, till next time. See you when I see you.
Bye.